Andrew McCART, IFL TV, in association with MTK Global. I'm delighted to finally meet and talk to the Irish sensation, Dylan Moran. Dylan, I said to you a little bit before I pushed record, you've made some noise in the last 2-3 days, man. What's going on?
Andrew, the last 2 days have been absolute just craziness, madness. I don't even know how to sum it up. My phone has been off the hook. And yeah, basically, Jake Paul put a video of me on the internet getting upended in America. We've had some back and forth, and yeah, here I am talking to you.
Before we talk about Jake Paul, man, you're out in Dubai. You're Abu Dhabi, I think, as well. But you're sparring Conor McGregor in preparation for his fight with Dustin Poirier. Talk to me about how the sparring's going with Conor and how's Conor looking, I suppose.
Yeah, firstly, I've been in camp since Portugal with Conor. An amazing experience. You know, just soaking it all in. Really, really enjoying it. We went home for Christmas and then we flew to Dubai to continue training and sparring. And yeah, all's good. Conor is in phenomenal shape. What an athlete, what a guy. And I'm really looking forward to him putting on a masterpiece, as he says, on January the 23rd.
I mean, Conor does his thing. Conor looks in tremendous shape. And if he wins, it's all down to you because you've been that sparring partner, I guess, is it?
I can take a little bit of a claim to it, I suppose. The sparring has been exciting, you know. Really, really enjoyed it. Just really good energy. Two of us really gelled. Exciting stuff, you know. Like I said before, it was sparring where people are clapping at the end of it, and me and Conor appreciated it both ways.
Well, let's jump straight into it. You mentioned Jake Paul at the beginning there. Now, Jake Paul, he made a video a few weeks ago, basically disrespecting Conor. He disrespected his wife Dee as well, which was out of order. But he seemed to have a pop at you, like you said, and then you've had a pop back. And I've seen that you posted a photo with you inside a Ferrari and all this sort of stuff, similar stuff to Jake Paul. One thing Jake Paul does is he knows how to ram up a fight or call people out. But for you, was he disrespectful towards you?
Yeah, you see, Andrew, look, I'm just a guy who's grafted his arse off to be here today. You know, getting involved with Conor from day one, I'm just in shock with it. You're very grateful to be here, and what an experience it's been. And now how it's turned it out, you couldn't have wrote it with Jake Paul disrespecting me on the internet. Look, I'm one of them guys, if you do something like that, you have to back it up. You have to be held accountable. Do you know what I mean? The reach that guy has on the internet, and he's put me worldwide. You know what I mean? He thinks that it's just going to be forgotten about. It doesn't work like that. It does not work like that. You know what I mean? And he's going to have to back it up. I know he's not replying. I knew he wouldn't reply. But yeah, it's not over with.
Yeah. Would you fight Jake Paul if it happened? I know like a lot of fighters probably don't like the YouTube fights and the YouTubers getting involved with others as disrespecting the sport. But for you, is this personal for you with Jake Paul? Would you fight him if push came to shove?
Andrew, I wasn't joking when I said I will rip his head off. He would have been better to accept going to Floyd Mayweather's gym and getting in the ring where there would have been someone there to save him.
Like I said, what's Conor? Have you spoke to Conor about Jake Paul? And what's Conor said about the guy?
Yo, Andrew, Conor's just laughing. He's laughing his head off. Do you know what I mean? Conor is next level to all these guys. That's why they're barking up the tree at him. Do you know what I mean? He wouldn't give him the time of day. And yeah, he decided to go through me to get to Conor, and he's pissed off the wrong Irish guy. That's it. That's the end of it. Like,
see, that's the thing with the Irish, man. I'm part Irish as well myself, so you don't forget. It's like you love to fight, and you'll never ever forget anyone that disrespects you. But if you were out in Vegas or something like that, and you bumped into Jake Paul, what would happen? Would you just have a chat with him and tell him just to back down a little bit because this is a real man sport? This isn't playing games.
No, there's no talking. This is what I'm saying, Andrew. I would rip his head off. I can't sleep at night over him. Genuinely. You know, there's one thing about me. I'm by no means a big hard man or anything like that. I graft hard. Just try and be a good person. This clown's going to stalk me all over the internet. And if you look for a fight with me, you're going to get one. End of. You know, and that's just it. And like I said, I need to make peace with it. For that, if I have to go to his front door, I go to his door.
I mean, he seems to be calling out everyone from Dylan Dallas to yourself, anyone that's involved with Conor, just to get a bite out of Conor. But it doesn't seem to be working. Conor seems to be, like you said, laughing at this. Do you think he's just going to keep attacking people close to Conor, keep attacking him until he gets that response?
He's going to keep attacking people until he gets a bang into the head.
Mm.
You know what I mean? That'll quieten him.
Yeah, definitely. Well, Conor,
But like,
I read an article. No, on you go. On you go. Sorry.
This fighting business isn't to be joked about. You know, people die in the ring. You know what goes into it. Guys graft their bollocks off and they don't see a percentage of the money this guy makes. You know, and you've got this spoiled brat running around his mansion over in America, wherever he's from, disrespecting good people on the internet. You know, you can't do that. Well, you can do it, but you can't get away with it.
Do you think he's disrespecting the sport, Jake Paul?
I also think he's disrespecting the sport. It's crazy. You know, it's crazy. And I don't agree with the YouTube thing neither. That's why I said I'll come today or tomorrow. I don't want your money. I don't want Jake Paul's money by no means. I want him to put the gloves on and have a knock, and that's it. Do you know what I mean? You've called me out. You've dished me all over the internet. It's gone worldwide. That's the reality of it. Now you've got to back it up. You know what I mean? You're going around telling everybody you're a fighter. Someday you're going to have to be one.
Definitely. I read an article as well, going back to Conor, that he said that he's going to go back into boxing. I mean, you've sparred Conor. Do you think, and Conor's actually mentioned that he can be a world champion inside the sport of boxing. You sparred him, you've been with him in camp. Do you think Conor can make a name for himself in the sport of boxing?
Andrew, without a doubt, before I came over here, I obviously couldn't comment on it. You know, I only watched the fights, as have you. I've been in there now sparring going. I've been in sparring with people all over the world, and Conor McGregor is up there with giving me the best sparring that I've had. Very, very, very good sparring, like a game of chess, real technical stuff. You know what I mean? Proper boxing. Yeah. And yeah, I do think he can make a massive name in boxing, and I think maybe he will go on and do that.
Definitely. Like, one thing with Conor is that you can say this and that about Conor, but when it comes to working hard, grafting his ass off, and dedication to whatever he puts his mind into, you've got to give him it.
Andrew, I pride myself on hard work. Do you know what I mean? What I lack in talent and skills, I make up for in hard work. I just graft hard. Do you know what I mean? And when I first got involved with Conor, that's the main thing that I noticed about him. You know, to watch a guy show up to the gym and work harder than anyone beside him on the mats at the stage he's at in life, you have to respect that, and I certainly do.
Going to you then, Dylan. You were lucky enough to have 2 fights, I believe, at the end of 2020. When are you looking to be back out? When are you hoping to be back in that ring?
Yeah, so I've had a bit of a whirlwind of a year, Andrew, and it's ended up being the best year I've ever had. And the last few weeks have been just crazy. So it's all a bit up in the air at the moment for me. If I'm being honest, I'm looking forward to some downtime. It's been all go. But at the same time, yeah, you know, look, when all this buzz dies down with Jake Paul and Conor and whatnot, you know, it's back to the drawing board for me. It's back to the hard graft, the nitty gritty stuff. You know, you have to live in the real world and drive on my own career and just keep trying to make it happen. You know, them big fights are going to happen for me. This bit of publicity is obviously going to work in that favor. And yeah, I'm looking forward to that as well. Back to a bit of normality.
Have you got Jake Paul to thank for this publicity then?
Yeah, look, obviously there is benefits to it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And that's all anybody's been talking about. But I'm saying at the same time, I'm pissed off about it. Yeah. You know, I'd never come out about Jake Paul or said anything. Oh, I said the video was disrespectful that he put out to Conor, which was disrespectful. I could understand if Dustin Poirier had done that video because he was going to get in the ring and back it up. Do you know what I mean? Jake Paul done that video and it was proper below the belt stuff. And I'm like, you can't do that. Do you know what I mean? You can't do stuff like that. And I think I said if they show up to Dubai spitting stuff like that, I'd sleep them on the spot, which I would have. Do you know what I mean? I wouldn't think twice about it.
Definitely. Like, you're a fighting man. I think, like Conor, you've got that same mentality as well, Dylan. But finally, before I let you go, one final word for Jake Paul and one final word for the fans that are watching this video on, like, your next fight, what your ambitions are in the sport of boxing, obviously to become world champion, I suppose.
Yeah, obviously I want to be a world champion. I'm getting closer and closer. Forget about this Jake Paul thing. He's not worth the time of day. It's not over between me and him. He has to back up what he said. In terms of myself, it's back to Ireland soon enough, back to the nitty gritty, and I'm sure you'll be hearing about my name through my own hard work in the future.
Definitely. I'm looking forward to it, Dylan. It's an absolute pleasure to talk to you for the first time. Hopefully this is the first of many interviews, mate.
Andrew, the pleasure's mine, and thanks for having me.
Anytime, brother. Speak soon. Stay safe.